Call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all the brothers and few sisters who's out there listening and preaching this word. Risking their lives, their freedom, to push this doctrine. This is just this is going to be a quick video. This is in response again to the Fox News interview. I just was pondering or meditating today, upon that interview, man. And, Esau knows that we're the Israelites, but he's trying to push it like we're crazy, or like some radicals, who don't know what we're talking about. Which, in fact, we do know what we're talking about, because history and archaeological evidence and art back in the pre-Renaissance back in the pre-Renaissance time of back in the pre-Renaissance art, when you look into the pre-Renaissance art of the Byzantine Empire, the Roman Empire, and so on, the Greek Orthodox Church, the Russian Orthodox Church, even the Roman Catholic Church, you see that the Israelites are depicted as dark-skinned people, as black. This is supposed to be Moses upon Mount Sinai receiving the law, if I'm not mistaken. And you could clearly see he has woolly hair. You clearly could see this, man. And then you see and this is off the app Pinterest, which is our Pinterest, which is a good app to have, and you could clearly see, that the saints are depicted as black, so-called black, Then this Renaissance art, the Renaissance art that came after, because the term Renaissance means rebirth, which was the rebirth of the pagan Roman Empire. That's that's what we're living in right now. Where Esau came back to power, where he was loosed out of the pit. Let's get that. Because scripture says that the devil will be loosed for a little season. One moment. So Revelation. I started at Revelation 20:1. Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit. We know that angel who has the key is referring to Yahweh Shai, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. All right, because the dragon is referring back to the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, and the serpent is referring back to the man in Garden of Eden, because the serpent, he came as he came as a serpent in the garden, and then he came back as Cain, then ultimately came back as Esau. And then Esau was surnamed Edom, then he had many progeny, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, because because the pagan Roman Empire fell, during the first century, so to speak, and then ultimately when it ultimately came to power was during the time of Constantine, during the Council of Nicaea, which Constantine was an Israelite. He's a wicked Israelite who incorporated paganism into Christianity. So during that's when Jake came to power. That we lost our power. 14 starting in the 1300s, the 14th century, when Jake was dying out of the Black Plague, and ultimately when the Ottoman Turks and the Borgias family, they took us down in where the Ottoman Turks, they took us down. They took down the Byzantine Empire. Then 1492 in Spain and Portugal and that region there, Italy, where the Moors was conquered, by the Romans, by the Borgias family and so on. King John the Second of Portugal and so on, and he drove us out of those lands. So that's when you've been loose, man, and you're ruling till now. Said that he should deceive the nation no more till the 1,000 years be fulfilled, because we rule for 1,000 years in peace on this earth. So now you're loose, and after that he must be loose a little season. So that's what we're seeing here right now. Where Esau is loose, he after he was loose, he took down all these images. He tried to paint them over, burn them, but there was too much to destroy and too much to paint over, because we left our presence everywhere, man. You know what I mean? And the Most High, he never made you guys destroy all this, because if he did, we wouldn't have a lot of so to speak, we wouldn't have a lot of evidence, to show and compel our people. But the Most High made it where, where a lot of these imagery and information has been preserved, because the scripture talks about the earth helping the woman. I believe it's in Revelation 12. Because Esau, he tried to lie to our people, man. Esau lied to our people, man. Wouldn't get that quick. He deceived our people. That's why our people don't know who they are, because our nationality was taken from us. And Revelation 12 and 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast out unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child, which is the Roman Empire. And this is the man-child was referring to Yahushua when he was born. That's why Yahushua, his parents, Joseph and Mary, they had to flee into Egypt, fleeing from Herod. Because Herod, he decreed, kill every firstborn male that's born of the Jews. Because he knew that the Messiah was being risen up. It says, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for times and the times. And that was in that was when we went into Africa, 70 AD and so on, and then we were captured and brought here, brought into slavery, man. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away after the flood. So what's a part of this flood? Iconoclasm, where he depicted himself as the saints, as the Israelites, showing that he's the Lord, he's God, that they're the Jews, and so to speak, when that's not the case. And they deceived our people, and they deceived the whole world, and they're going to pay for that. It says, and the earth helped the woman and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood. So what's the earth referring to? That's talking about the archaeological evidence and the history, man, which is helping us prove our cause right now. And swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And that's the time that we're coming into, man. You know, where they're gonna, where they're basically right now, they're declaring war against us and been declared war. So now they're gonna make their move, man, and come after us for, exposing them, you know. But but the Lord is on our side, and the Lord's gonna, because this is prophecy, man. You can't stop what the Most High has ordained, manifest destiny. Just like how you came to power and you said that it was manifest destiny, we're gonna come to power and it's manifest destiny. It's prophecy, so there's no way that you could stop this from happening, which kept the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So that was pretty much the point. This is just an impromptu. This wasn't prepared, but I'd like to say Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the brethren, and the few sistren that's listening, and the few sistren or Akwaf who's listening onto this truth, man. So with that, I'd like to say Shalom and death and destruction unto Babylon, this kingdom, man. Shalom.